Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 1 of FusionLore. I'm Magic, and I'm joined with my great friend.
Hi, it's Aurus. Nice to meet you all. It's not like I've been here before.
And we're going to talk about all the lore in FusionFall. There's some mad reason, because our brains are incapable of being still. Matt, what did we do today?
Well, for starters, we discussed many things in regards to lore, but after all that, in preparation for this, we did go through the FusionFall tutorial.
And what a tutorial it was. I thought I had questions before we started. I have even more questions now.
Yeah, it's like when you have the idea of actually questioning everything before you go into it, you have a lot more insight into what you want to think about, especially when you're experiencing it.
So many questions. I struggle to think how we're going to fit them all. But before we start, we are only going to talk about this at 30 minutes of a time for everybody else's peace of mind. Because if I don't set a timer, I have no doubt we'll sit here for 5 hours and talk about this 10-minute tutorial. So I'm going to start this 30-minute timer, and I'm going to start us off in just a minute. Probably should have this ready, honestly. Time start now. Okay, so I've always wondered why we went to the future in the first place. I guess I never paid attention to the fact that Dexter said we volunteered for this. We saw a poster on the pole of the telephone pole or an ad online, and Dexter was like, "Yes, children, come to me. Be my guinea pigs. I will send you to the future." And we said that shit was rad, I guess. Would you do that?
For whatever reason.
I don't know if I would.
Probably not.
Especially with whatever age we are. Unclear.
First of all, the world was in shambles, and there was a reason we were being sent to the future.
What do you mean?
I'm guessing at that
shambles?
Well, I guess it was about to be. We knew what was coming, but the fact that it's such a mystery to me, it's just why would I even go to that poster?
You think that's why he did the time machine? You think he knew the war was coming, or you think I got the impression it was just an experiment he was doing?
I feel like we knew what we were getting into.
Really? Why is that?
Yeah. Well, for starters, I'm not sure how far we're going to be talking into the tutorial, but when we were talking to Dexter, he did say that, of course, we got to get not Mandark. He was talking about the fact that we got sent too far into the future, and we would now have to be sent into the past.
So once we time travel.
Oh, of course.
Uh-huh.
But it's the fact that he believes that we are playing some key role in all of this to begin with. Why is he sending us back and forth? Why are we not fodder? Why is he so intent on keeping us safe and moving us where he needs us to be?
I think you're thinking a little farther ahead in the tutorial than I am.
Maybe, but these are the questions we need to be asking. Did Dexter know?
You think Dexter knew? You think it wasn't an accident?
You never know. You never know. Maybe the fact of the matter is we got sent all the way into the future to realize what was going on in the future, to get the motivation to go back to a time where we can start making an impact on what's going to be happening.
It's very interesting that you say that, because one of the things that I noticed a lot once we are in the future is how Dex lab centric everything is where we are, and how big of an influence he seems to have, because all the teleport transport things are Dex Labs brand. When you make it to the past, the first thing you'll be like, "Oh, it's Dexter's kid, bro." And they just hand you a gun and they're like, "You got this, man. Kill them all. This kid they just met." So Dexter must have been hyping us up like, "Guys, don't worry. I know it looks bad right now, but I sent this 10-year-old kid into the future and he should pop up any day now."
Not to mention the fact that, sure, we could argue the game logic where we're the main character and the other people that we see are just figments of our imagination. It's just a byproduct of it being a game. It's not a single player game, of course.
Of course.
But the fact of the matter is that we're dealing with time travel. We're going into the past after going too far into the future, and we're seeing all these other people. How many times has he done this?
You know, you say that. I'm looking through my notes right now. I distinctly remember writing down something about them saying kid singular, right? I think it was number 5 where like I really hung on the fact that she said, you're the kid, not one of the kids. You're the kid, the singular kid that Dexter did this with. So I think we are supposed to be, in the context of us playing this game.
Or is that
only us?
What it wants you to think, though?
I don't think it's going as far as number 5, bro.
I don't know, man. You just said that Dex Labs has a ton of influence. How do you know not every interaction we had when we finally arrived to the right point in the past is not just scripted to begin with? I mean, we get a mission right out of getting from the past.
It is very convenient that we happen to land right next to these 2 people in a fight.
Exactly. And the fact also of the matter is, I would argue the longer Fuse is around, the more powerful his minions get as he absorbs the planet. So we're fighting all these fusion spawns, and we're fighting that 2-headed dog thing. Isn't that thing supposed to be much stronger? How are we making an impact?
No.
And how haven't we died yet?
You're absolutely right. I wrote that down too, right? Not to like talk about like future knowledge, but we have both played FusionFall before. And one of the things I immediately wrote down after seeing Cerberus was, why is this high level enemy level 1 in this high level area? If we're this far in the invasion that literal areas are being sunken into the ground.
Exactly.
Seas of fusion matter. And there's level 1 enemies over here. Not only are there level 1 enemies that the same heroes we're fighting with are struggling against. Like, I would think that Ben 10 and number 5 would be able to no-cap these dudes in an instant, but they're struggling.
Exactly. Like, what exactly is Dexter's goal? Because let's be real here. Dexter is a mastermind. He is an absolute mastermind. He could have known that Tech Square was going to fall, sent us exactly to that point in the future, moments before it was going to happen, timed it perfectly with the fact that we fought the beast, and maybe number 5 and Ben were there to regulate how long we were going to be fighting the beast in the first place.
You know, something else that I wrote down, the first time we run back into Dexter while being in this horrible situation, Dexter says, we have to send you back to the past so we can win, not anybody else.
That's what I'm saying. It's so much emphasis on us.
It's almost as if he did know about it. He said, obviously, something's going to go bad. There's going to be something I can't predict. I need someone that I can send my information with back, or because it'll create a time paradox or something? Is it just that we're so unimportant that the fact that we time travel will not affect anything too harshly?
That's another thing I was going to get at. We are probably so invariably involved in what's going on in the future. Like, for all we know, the very fact of the matter is we could be genetically modified people in general.
I think that's going a little too far. We volunteered. If we were genetically modified, I feel like we would have been sent to the future on the jump. We're not a Terminator.
Well, I'm not saying we're a Terminator, but I'm saying maybe a lot of humans didn't make it, and they needed someone that didn't know of the events, that they could send back safely without totally affecting the future. So no ties to anyone in the past or the present. Mm-hmm. It has to make sense. It's time travel.
It's time.
We have to have no ties to both the past and the present in order to not affect the timeline as much as we're trying to.
We're obviously so irrelevant that nothing we do will matter.
Right, but that's also why I believe this is all pre-scripted. It's supposed to give us a purpose in going forth in our mission and defeating Fuse.
I don't know if it's that pre-scripted. I don't know if the defeating Fuse part is pre-scripted. Because after we do meet up with Dexter, you know, we go fight Fusion Buttercup, right? The first thing I wrote down when I saw Fusion Buttercup was how are Fusions alive? What is this? What am I looking at, right? I was very interested in knowing how all the different mobs came to be, right? And they did explain that in the sense of like the slime just evolved. It kept looking at stuff and being like, what if I did this? What if I was a bat? That would be cool, right? But I'm starting to think with the creation of nanos, right? Since the way they explain to us nanos are made just purely based off the tutorial, is that we defeated the fusion, and with the fusion matter we already collected, we turned that fusion matter into the nano, right? So
Yeah.
did Fuse's slime like see a Cartoon Network hero, say, man, that seems pretty strong and cool, I'm going to try my best to turn into that, and once it achieved that form and mixed with the fusion matter that we collected, it specifically turned into that nano because that's the form and identity it already had taken? Purely based off of what we learned in this tutorial. That's my takeaway from it.
Well, I mean, it makes sense in the sense of, like, let's go back to the fact that we were fighting a high level 1 monster in a sense, right?
All right.
So, in a sense of it being almost decimated, tech squares collapsing, and
Literal buildings underwater.
Right. What if the attachment and the transformation is tied to whatever its host is more related to? Like, the fact that we fought a level 1 dog makes me believe, and this might sound a little morbid, because fusion spawns are the purest form of fusion matter, and anything above that is something that's combined to be stronger. That's what we're kind of getting an idea of.
Combined with what?
So what I'm getting at is essentially, was that, while this might be morbid, was that level 1 dog actually just like, I don't know, a puppy at one point?
You think the fusion matter found a stray dog, absorbed it, and said, I am dog now? Well,
we know for a fact that that's a higher level boss. We did say it earlier. It was a level 1, but it was a higher level monster to begin with. So we can assume that the reason that they're higher level is probably because the higher level ones happen to be older dogs.
You think we're fighting freshly made fusion? They're so low level because they just came into existence.
Well, I want to say it's probably because of the area being so obviously decimated. You don't need as many enemies around, really. The whole area is turning into a puddle, wasn't it? The buildings are falling. Everything was disappearing into the earth.
I want to disagree with you, not to skip too much around, but when we are leaving the tutorial area, we hear number 2 say, we've lost Tech Square. It's gone. So this was, in my opinion, supposed to be like a battle. Like, we're not going to lose this spot. We have so much stuff here. We're going to fight. And they lost it. To level 1s, mind you. To level 1s. And the implication is supposed to be that Fuse is taking over so much of the planet that level 1s are just that strong.
Well, that's also really weird, because the fact of the matter is that we came into this fresh, we had no experience, and we were still holding our own against the level 1s. I mean, we fought 3 level 1 spawns before moving on to the dog.
And you know, I wanted to chalk it up to, at first glance, that maybe it only appeared that they are level 1s because we were fighting alongside Ben and number 5, right? But immediately that got thrown out the window once we defeat Cerberus and we take our first mission for number 2 and we fight the oil ogre on our own.
That's also a great point. The fact of the matter is that it doesn't make any sense where we are. It doesn't make sense what we're fighting for, because like you said, it made it seem like we were fighting a war to win Tech Square back. But why, again, the level 1 creatures, why are we losing to them? How exactly were we fighting back? Was Tech Square falling because of the spawns, or was it because of, like you said, the already decimating Earth because of how far in the future we were, how absorbed the Earth was. The buildings were literally falling into the ground.
I don't know. I don't know. I hate
Something
to see them struggle this much against level 1. It's starting to make sense how Fuse took over so easily.
And these people are supposed to be our heroes,
right?
Like they're supposed to be top dogs. They're supposed to be powerful.
I know it's a game, right?
I mean, for fuck's sake,
I know
Ben
it's
10.
a game. Yeah, I know it's a game, but if you're gonna use Ben 10 in the opening sequence, and you're gonna have him fight as Ben, I feel like you should maybe explain why he's only fighting as Ben. Because I think if I was a child playing this game, I would be even more upset. I'd be like, why didn't he turn into an alien?
Why wouldn't he turn into an alien at all?
Wait a minute.
Blocking him?
Where did Ben go? Where did he...
Wait.
Did he go? Wait. In the tutorial, and then like the very first you're learning to walk around, you fight with him, and homie dips. Where did he go? We lost X Square, and he wasn't even there to help.
Where is the continuity with that? Where did he go?
I think this is, from memory, I think this is the only time you see him for the entire future.
Yeah, before, maybe even before the time machine room.
Where did Ben go? Did he die? Is it implied that Ben died?
Wow.
I'm sorry if I'm missing something. Please let me know if I'm missing something. But we run into number 5 and we run into Ben. We go to number 2. We talk to Buttercup. We go fight the Fusion. We meet Dexter. Dexter disappeared too. But at least they explained. Dexter had the little hologram. He was like, don't worry about me. I'm safe. But we see every other character that appeared in the tutorial at that ending scene where we're leaving Tech Square, all on the roof, but not Ben.
Wait, but also, hold on. When we entered Fusion Buttercup's lair and we met up with Dexter, after we defeated Fusion Buttercup, why did he go deeper into the lair?
Deeper where? That was on one alley. Where else? You know, I wrote down because this was so confusing to me, right? So you go in the Fusion lair, you can see everything that's in there from just around the corner, right? You fight Fusion Buttercup, you defeat her, you get your nano, and then all of a sudden there's a warp in there, a Dex Labs warp. Where did that come from? It wasn't.
Wait, but also, before he leaves you, he says, I need to go see if Fusion Buttercup stole any of his equipment in the lair. Where is he going? Where did he go? How did he magically become safe from going back the way he came? That would imply he went back to Tech Square.
He drowned in the building when they went to the ground. He's under the fusion matter.
But he's safe.
Supposedly, according to himself. He said, don't worry about me, I am safe.
And actually, wait. It was a hologram.
It was a hologram.
But any other time to my memory, we haven't had a hologram whatsoever, no matter the situation of the NPC. It was always a direct line.
What about Contrucius?
I don't think she's ever been an actual hologram. I think she's just blue, and that maybe to your memory, she appeared maybe at like a hologram, but it was always
like appeared as a hologram. I mean, we have holograms all over the game. We haven't gotten that far in the game, but like,
well, I don't mean like literally in game, but I mean more of the mission notify, the dialogue in the top right when you're experiencing it. Like he was a hologram, but also, why was he a hologram? Did he actually die? And that's just like
play this message. His hologram if I ever die.
Yeah, like, I'm fine.
Did Ben
but, like, is he actually?
Where did they go?
And we did get sent back into the past, so there's a strong possibility that they just died.
Off screen.
Yeah, like, to our knowledge, they're never seen again in the future. We go back to the past, and that's when we see them again.
You're right. R.I.P.
And then even further than that, when we hit the time machine again, we see them one more time.
That's too far. That's too far ahead. That's far. I can't think past that right now.
No, but still, like,
Matt, I have a question.
yes.
How do we enter fusion layers?
How did we enter the fusion layers? Through the Dex Lab teleporters.
No. We enter the infected zone through the Dex Lab teleporters.
Yes.
There's a robot attendant who sends us in there. I assume he's operating the warp. Once you reach the infected zone and you make your way to the fusion portal, it's just like a little green spot with tentacles sticking up in the air. How are we getting in there?
So, yeah, actually, that makes a lot of sense. Why is it a lair?
Also, follow-up question, where is the lair? When we go through the fusion portal, where are we?
I think it's implied that it's within the earth. Because it's always a rocky... Yeah, like, it's always a rocky area.
You see, I was under the impression that we were portaling the planet Fuse.
I don't think that... would planet Fuse look like that?
Well, if it's a coalition of planets all mushed together, I wouldn't put it past that the inside could be all rocky terrain.
But also, with that, after being in the lair, there's already a Dex Labs teleporter, or it just appears.
It just appeared. Unless so Dexter, like when we beat Buttercup, was like, let me just build this real fast, bro. Let me knock this out. I've been doing this so long, it don't even faze me.
Absolutely no continuity.
Let me pull out my pocket warp real fast.
So that would actually make sense. Like, he pulled out a pad and expanded out, and then we use that to teleport instead of just using the standard teleport.
Don't worry, I've been avoiding my sister for years. I've been creative on how to escape really fast. Pocket warp?
The amount of times DD has destroyed one of my inventions and has bothered me to no end. I need a quick escape.
You know, I just thought of something, right? If we're the key, like, us being sent back is what saves the universe ultimately. Does that mean that Dee is actually the real savior of the universe? Because it was her that got us sent further and made the time machine explode. You know what this is? This is the Avengers Rat situation. You know about the Avengers Rat?
What is the Avengers Rat?
In Avengers Endgame, a rat runs over a little device that releases Ant-Man from the little quantum zone he's in, which puts in motion the plan to save everybody by going back in time. We got sent further in time than we were supposed to because Dee was fucking shit up. Is Dee the true savior? The real defeater of Fuse?
I wouldn't say that.
What would you say?
The reason I wouldn't agree with that is because regardless of the situation, we were getting sent to the future, comparatively.
Yeah, but
if we had just gone to the initial time that we were supposed to go to, which Dexter corrected when we went further into the future, because he had to grab Mandark to rebuild the time machine. Actually.
Wait, no. Dexter says to us as we're leaving Times Square, I know you can rebuild the time machine. He's not helping. Mandark does that off of scraps.
And wait. I just realized something.
What is that?
We didn't double travel in the future.
What do you mean?
Tex Square in the future that we're at is inaccessible.
We watch it get destroyed.
Right.
That's but the whole point of the tutorial.
Right, no. I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is all we did was hop in the scamper and go straight to Sector V. So we didn't double time travel. Nothing got corrected.
No. We went to where
As a matter of fact, we went to where Dee sent us, yes. So yeah, actually, in the sense of us having to be in the future and gain, actually not having to necessarily, we gained more experience in the future and then was sent back to the correct time that we were supposed to after Mandark built the time machine.
That's something we'll have to figure out further down the line. I'm not too sure about that.
Well, I'm guessing it's implied because, like you said, Dexter wasn't helping. He was having Mandark work off of scraps.
From memory. All I can say is that Dexter said, I know you can fix my time machine, which means that he is not helping us at all. He's off dealing with Ben's death, I guess.
He's mourning.
He lost his boyfriend and he is in shock. Can I also say the resolve that we have for a child that got sent to the middle of a war zone and immediately starts killing things is incredible. Because if I got put in that situation and I saw my neighborhood was in shambles and half of it was under the ocean, I would break psychotically.
Would you?
I don't care if I saw Ben and number 5. I don't know how I would. What do you mean the planet is being invaded? What do you mean I have to save everybody? Huh? I mean, the entire planet is invading us? What are those?
That's understandable, but at the same time, you're thrown into a situation where you're completely unfamiliar with your surroundings. Sure, it looks familiar in a sense, but it's not what you know. And you're told, hey, in order to survive, we need your help defeating these monsters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would break, honestly.
Dog, I don't care if Superman and Batman came down and said, you're the key, don't worry. I'm worrying. I'm worrying more, actually, because now I have that burden of, it's your job to save us. Good luck.
Not to say I wouldn't worry, of course. I would be scared shitless. But I wouldn't like just flat out break. I feel like I would kind of be up for the challenge a little bit, you know?
It would take me a minute. You would have to give me at least a day to like comprehend what was going on.
We don't have a day, Magic.
I would have died in Tech Square. I would have been down there with Ben and Dexter, except nobody would grieve over me. Apparently, I'm irrelevant.
Eventually, they're just like, fuck, this idiot can't get out of here. Send the next one.
That number 2 and number 5 whispering to it, did he send the right kid? Was it supposed to be this one? Because he's not moving.
He hasn't gotten up from that corner.
I see Cerberus and I'm just like, and then they say, look in the sky. And I see Planet Fuse and I'm like, oh, that wasn't there before.
The water's green and it hurts. I don't want to be here.
Send me back. Send me back. You can send me back. If I saw Dexter, that's what I would say. I would mutter the same. Send me back. Send me back, Dex. You're smart. Send me back. Let me leave.
Do it, Dexter. You got me here in the first place. I don't want to be here. I rescind my volunteer. I don't want to do it anymore. This isn't for me.
So from what I got of the tutorial, Future's fucked. Big green thing wants to cover our entire planet in goo to eat it like a fly, apparently. That goo is alive and can turn into various creatures and monsters. We kill those monsters to make little dudes, which is very weird, by the way. And I say, because if we live in this world and we've seen these like heroes all the time, having like a miniature version that's like under my control is very, could you imagine like if this was a real life scenario and you got thrown in the future and they're like, kill Fusion Biden, and you got a Biden nano? And you're like, what do I do with this?
Well, this might sound unethical, but do whatever you want. I think he has dementia.
Oh, that's the timer. 30 minutes of that. But because I said what I learned, why don't you go on and cap it off and say what you're taking away from this tutorial? What did you learn about this world we got thrown in?
So what I feel like I've learned about this world we got thrown into is, first of all, everything is obviously in shambles, but for whatever reason, our heroes are weak as shit, and so is everything else. The most basic enemies are giving us trouble, to my knowledge. We're fighting spawns.
Level 1 spawn.
At that, what is going on that we're so depowered? How are we losing the fight that hard that we're kind of just,
I didn't even think about that being depowered. There's so much fusion matter that it's affecting us.
Probably interfering.
Like a virus.
Watch.
Oh my God, they're going through a pandemic.
Oh my God, what if Ben's aliens are influenced by Fuse's planet, and whenever he transforms, he kind of goes berserk as a fusion alien?
Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows?
We'll just have to find out when we play more of this game. Are we asking too many deep questions? Definitely. Is that going to stop either of us? Hell no. Well, I'm Magic. That's ours. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.